You don't get many opportunities like this, so don't miss it. That doesn't mean you should do it, but that certainly means you need to be thinking about it. All right. So the market is roughly down 20%. We're in a bear market. VTI is hit there for just a fraction, or S&P 500 hit there for just a fraction. I bet VTI is actually down the whole. Let's take a look. I bet VTI is down a bear market. Let's take a look here. Let's ask Grok. Shall we ask old Grok here? Yeah, don't use Google. Grok is so much better. Has VTI gone into a bear market? Let's see what Grok says here. Yes, so the VTI did briefly enter a bear market. All right, so there we go. So VTI has hit a bear market, and that was on April, let's see. That was on April 8th. VTI hit a 20.75% decline. Now it's up a little bit. It's at closed at 240 that day. VTI right now is at VTI. Hang tight, my friends. Don't get so emotional. 257. So it's up 2% today. Oh, my bread. I got to put my bread in the oven. Be right back. Whoever wants to put imports on bread, more power to them. Not going to affect me because I make my own. What if he puts imports on flour? Make your own flour. Crazy. But, it's Trump. I don't like him. All right, so I want to show you something here. This is VTI using valueinvesting.io. I did find a mistake they had in valueinvesting.io. They had Wellesley Fund way down, way worse than it actually is a couple times. I don't know if that was an error or what, but I was surprised with that. So I want to double check that. I was like, whoa, Wellesley was never down what they said. So I was kind of surprised by that. So that was bothersome. But everything else I've seen looks legitimate to me. So remember, right here, we're going to do VTI in September 2018. December 2018, Vanguard Total Stock Index Fund. And we're going to put, 10,000 schmackaroonies in there? Yeah, 10,000 schmackaroonies. And you're going to see we're riding high. Yay-hoo! Yay-hoo! So we're down to 85.89. So VTI was down 19.8. S&P 500 is down 19.8%. This is just end of month, so it's not going to be day to day. But you can see we're down 15%. From the last quarter of 2018. It was actually 19.8 from top to bottom. Just keep that in mind. Anyway, so let's say we had $8,500. We said we're going to do a Roth conversion, and we're just going to say you're subject to a 22% tax. All right. So 22% tax, $8,500 minus 22%. We're just going to use that for example. So we're going to say you got $6,600 left because we're just going to, for simplicity, pay the tax from your Roth. All right, from your conversion. So we're going to convert, we're going to have $10,000. We fell down to 85.89. We're going to have 6,300 to invest right here, 6,300. Boink, 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 boink. And then we're going to go from January 2019 into today, right? Till it'll be, I think, March. Oh, wait, no, 2025. Yeah, right there. And let's see. So remember, I'm going to set the thing. We had $10,000 September 2018. It fell all the way down to 15% or so. We paid 22% tax on that remaining balance. So we had $6,630 left. Let's see what happened, how much that has grown to. We're going to hit backtest portfolios. Let's see what we got. Oops, 1 second. So yeah, now we're at $15,000. All right. So the course of what's that? 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and into we're six years and a quarter in. We've almost 2.5 times our money, and it's all tax free. All right, so you can make the argument, yeah, but Josh, if you would have not done the conversion, you would have kept that 22% in the market, and you'd have, 100% I agree with that. I mean, if everything is equal, it doesn't make sense to do Roth conversions. I absolutely get that, 100%. Absolutely get that. If everything is equal, but not everything is equal, this is what drives me crazy. Everything's not equal because those taxes you have to pay on IRA distributions leads to tax you have to pay on Social Security, which might not otherwise had to. Means the tax you might have to or increase on Medicare premiums, which you might not have had to. Maybe increases taxes on your long-term capital gains and qualified dividends, which you might not otherwise have to. You see what I'm saying? On top of that, the money you leave to your Roth, your kids, is tax-free. They have to distribute it within 10 years. But a traditional IRA, they got distributed 10 years and most likely at their highest earnings as well. So there's a lot of benefits doing the Roth. If everything is 22% marginal tax rate, then it makes no sense whatsoever, other than you want to pay the tax man now as opposed to later, which me too. So if I'm still working I'm doing Roth, man. I tell you, I'm doing probably Roth conversions right now. It just depends. I mean, everyone's different. Everyone's different. If I'm retired, I'm not so sure. I deal with a lot of retirees with pensions, whatnot, who are already in the 22 or pretty close to 22. I just not a huge benefit there. But if I'm still working and I got the excess cash flow, I'm probably doing some Roth. It just completely depends on what you want to do. I can make an argument to do the Roth conversions while you're still working. Absolutely. It's harder to make an argument to do the Roth conversions if you're already pretty much close to a 22% tax bracket, or you're floating right about the 22% tax bracket, and the Roth will put you over it. And then when you retire, you're in the 12%. That doesn't make sense. But at the end of the day, I mean, everything is situated, but you got to look at it, man. And you don't get too many bear markets. You just don't. Let's take a look at how many bear markets we've had for the last 100 years. That's our buddy Grok here, and it says the S&P 500 has about 26 bear markets over the last 100 years. Interestingly enough, though, 1 second. The period from 1929 to 1942 had 12 of them. Wow. So you take out 12. You take out 12. We've had 14 bear markets since 1942. 14. And that's, I mean, man, that's what, 80 years? So 14 divided by 80. I mean, I divide by 80. 17.5% of the time. That means 82% of the time we're in a not bear market. And 17.5% of the time. I don't know if that's the right way to do it, actually, because bear market divided by number of years. I'm not so sure I like that. But be that as it may, 14 bear markets in 82 years. Again, it just doesn't happen very much. 17% of the time we've had a bear market. That's not 17% of the time we've been in a bear market. We've had a bear market. I mean, that seems. I mean, I don't know what the percentage of time we've been in a bear market is. I imagine it's significantly lower than 17%. That's crazy. Anyway, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying I'd be thinking about it when the market's down, and I know today's a big day up, but we're still pretty significant. I wonder if is the Nasdaq in a bear market right now. So I asked Grok. Dude, Grok just crushes Google. Google, man, I don't know your stock. I just asked, is the Nasdaq in a bear market? I don't have to. It's just yes, the Nasdaq is in a bear market. Man, so the Nasdaq's it doesn't say how much is down. Let's see here. I'm not sure, but the Nasdaq is in a bear market right now. All right, so we know that for a fact. Let's do the Russell 2000 to see if that's in a bear market. Yeah, the Russell 2000 is in a bear market as well. All right, so I mean, if you got small cap Nasdaq stocks, you're fully in a bear market. If you have S&P 500, you're not. But I'm just showing you right there because the numbers I just ran weren't even in a bear market. 19.8% decline, and yet you came out like a. I can't tell you're going to come out like a champ. I don't know. I think history would show you something though, maybe, unless we're all going to be speaking Cantonese here at some point, or Mandarin, I should say. God bless. Love your thoughts. Smash that like button and subscribe.